To observe the solubility of various solid substances in water. Things needed: 5 test tubes, test tube stand, water, common salt, chalk powder, plastic, copper sulfate, washing soda. Method: take the test tubes and fill half of each of them with water. Add a small amount, half a spoonful of common salt to the first test tube. Similarly, add the same amount of chalk powder in the second test tube. Plastic in the third test tube. Copper sulfate crystals in the fourth test tube. And washing soda in the fifth test tube. Shake each test tube vigorously and keep in the test tube stand. Observe them after a few minutes. What do you observe? Observation. You observe that the common salt, copper sulfate crystals and washing soda dissolve in water, whereas chalk powder and plastic do not dissolve in water. Activity 7. To observe the solubility of various liquids in water. Things needed: 5 test tubes, test tube stand, water, glycerin, kerosene oil, vinegar, mustard oil, alcohol, dropper. Method: take the test tubes and fill half of each of them with water. Add some glycerine drops to the first test tube. Similarly, add a few drops of kerosene oil in the second test tube. A few drops of vinegar in the third test tube. A few drops of mustard oil in the fourth test tube. And a few drops of alcohol in the fifth test tube. Shake each test tube vigorously and place it in the test tube stand. Allow the test tubes to stand for some time and observe. Observation. You observe that liquids like glycerine, vinegar and alcohol have completely mixed with water to form a single layer. We say that glycerine, vinegar and alcohol dissolve or are soluble in water. We can also say that they are miscible in water. We will observe that liquids like kerosene oil and mustard oil do not get mixed with water. They form separate layers. We will see 2 separate layers of water and kerosene oil in the second test tube. Water being heavier forms the lower layer in the test tube, whereas kerosene oil forms the upper layer in the test tube. We say kerosene oil and mustard oil are insoluble in water or immiscible in water.